just heard from Basha there that these young girls we're talking about cannot even afford the basics of their personal health,
Yes.
They are dealt with a situation where they have to either choose food or meet their requirements as young girls.
I
And
know.
if at all they can't do that, then they will have to engage in social activities to finance this basic lifestyle.
And exactly.
And there is that mismatch. Aren't we blaming the girls so hard, yet there is a situation that they're dealing with?
I know she will give you statistics when we get back to her.
Mm.
But I would say back again to what I was saying.
Yes.
Let us first see at the practice. Because what we have as a challenge is the lifestyle we are living today. People are not living within their means. That is number one. Two, everyone wants money the hard way. A young boy wants money, a young girl wants money, an old man wants money, and they can do anything to get that money. That's number one. Number two, the people want to live a good life. When you open the bike for people to call in, someone in Buhweju, someone in Kamwenge, someone in Rwanda, in Kabale, they want to live a life like someone living here if he's in Kabale, the one in Makanga, in Mbarara, the one in Boma, in Kampala, at the best places. So everyone have had a chance to access a bar, to access a club, to access a sauna, and they want to be there, irrespective of the location and irrespective of the savings. Before you begin to spend, you need to first earn. And before you earn, you must first strategize. So for our young girls, for example, there is one way the patience, there is one way the abstinence, there is one way of first going to school, if there is chance. And I think people are in school. The girls are still going to school. We still have our government UPE program going, irrespective of the challenges. But if someone would headline, you would finish that level and continue to get the basics to help you. Besides that, there are a number of skilling, either at your nearest positions. If you must look at what is happening, where people are engaging in, for instance, salon for the young girls, people drop out. Learning to dress the hair and then waiting to get the skill and get a customer, it becomes longer. And it is easier to get a man who has started getting some little money and they pay you out. And this is taking place everywhere. In town, it is in the lodge. In the village, it is in the bush. And so sex sales are a bit challenging. I have a feeling that we all need to refocus, and we change our minds, and we become faithful to each other. We abstain from sex, and we leave sex business alone. And if you must, then use protectives or any other biomedical intervention that we have.
All right. We're stopping for a break. When we come back, we shall link up in the second hour. And the conversation is on our social media handles. Let's get to know what the problem, your biggest problems is on fast, especially the young girls. If at all you cannot afford these menstrual products, tell us, is it the problem of the prices? Is it access? What is it? Is it the knowledge that you don't have? The leaders in those communities, the VHTs, what is it that is so hard that these young girls cannot be able to access materials? What is the sustainable solution? Is it the reusable sanitary towels? The HIV, is it getting people jobs that they don't have to use the narrow path of getting money and sustain life, that they have to go into sexual work? Who has the legitimate solution? We shall be back after the break and continue with the conversation. Don't touch your radio. November Love.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Introducing Igongo Country Hotel and Culture Center. Experience 5-star treatment as you get in touch with Southwestern culture at our wonderful museum. Hike to the breathtaking 1520 Eclipse Hill and witness nature's wonders firsthand. Accommodation is very affordable, and so are our spatial cuisines for daily lunch and any kind of party, spacious conference facilities, a swimming pool, sauna, gym, massage, and a professional unisex saloon. Our expansive, beautiful gardens are the perfect backdrop for your memorable gatherings, be it a party, ceremony, or team building event. For bookings and reservations, our email is reservations@igongo.co.ug, or you could call us on 0392 722 828 or 0752 008 724. Don't miss your chance to create cherished memories and experiences that will last a lifetime. Igongo Country Hotel and Country Center, where the future meets the past.
Jazz Junction. Jazz Junction on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. Jazz Junction. Jazz Junction on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends.
This is the top of the hour.
Our music, our station, our region. It's Western Uganda's biggest radio.
Keep your hands off the dial. Yeah. This is 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music,
great friends.
great friends.
All right, it's 2 minutes past 10 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM, good music, great friends. We're celebrating 13 years of being the best in the region, and we're saying thank you to all the dear listeners that have tagged along for all this long. You've been great company. And I want to tell you that we shall continue to give you the best for the rest of the years that are about to be before us. And literally, this year is coming to an end. Thank you to the people of Ivanda, Ishaka, Ntungamo, Kasese, all these places that we went and celebrated the love. And those that have been able to get the goodies and the hampers and all these that comes along with November Love, congratulations. I hope you win. And this time it was double love, so you go to give your loved ones an extra of your hamper, of your gift that you've received here. And congratulations again for those that got that. And it's not stopping today and tomorrow. Cruise FM, in partnership with VIDEA Uganda and Period Talk, is going to Tsenyi. So Cruise FM will be in Tsenyi. And what is happening is that we are giving back to the community for the girls and young females that are dealing with menstrual challenges, and you don't have those reusable sanitary towels, menstrual products have been corrected, and it will go on record. We shall be able to reach out onto you, those that are living with HIV. We are saying you can live positively. And also, the law is in the pipeline where if at all you infect another person knowingly, you're going to spend your time in jail 10 years. And for those that are definitely for our penal code, those that are defiled children, and you've contracted and you're living positively, the penalty, it aggravates the offense. And the people living in islands and sport, like in Ruti here in Bara, they say there are hotspots for HIV and all that. And we know certainly the problem of some of the girls that are involved in sexual work is because they cannot afford, they don't have the jobs to afford the basics that they need. Basha, on the element of, we were on the break and you corrected me on the aspect of sanitary towels and menstrual products. What is the problem? Us men don't understand these things. Perhaps it's the cause of the stigma. Because the truth is, I will not run away. I'm one of those men, those very conservative men that think menstrual health is a matter that only belongs to women and it's sacred and it's supposed to be talked about by sengas and, adults, women. Yes. So, but now the conversation is literally everyone can be a part of the conversation, even men. And, we have friends that are female. We never talk about those things with them. But now it's high time we started, I think. Talk about stigma. Why do you think it's so wrong that the society cannot talk about this conversation very freely and think this is a matter of biology and health and we should really understand? Why is it so hard for us?
Okay, first and foremost, I will start with the aspect of the sanitary products. You see, whenever you refer to menstrual products as sanitary products, it construes the notion that menstruation is unhygienic, it's unsanitary. Initially, at conception, when someone said sanitary products, it was okay. But you see, language is one of the things that actually either perpetuates stigma or helps us in fighting stigma. So as time has gone by, we've left the sanitary part alone because periods are not dirty. So when you say sanitary products, you're basically saying menstruation is dirty and hygienic, among other things, yes. So it's stigma. It's actually the reason why most people do not talk about menstruation. I would attribute it to society, how we've been brought up, how we've been raised as a society. It's a topic that has only been discussed in hushed tones, for most part of society. We've been discussing periods in hushed tones because actually even pads, when someone, let's say in an office setting, someone gets their period and they weren't prepared, what are they going to do? They're going to go to someone and whisper. What is wrong with saying, do you have a menstrual pad? It should not be so taboo. It should be something that's normal. What is wrong with saying, I am buying pads? What's the problem with a man going to shop and
But
buying
even
pads?
us men, we never see girls or females going to pharmacies and shops to freely buy these products. They actually do it in hiding, literally. They go and whisper to shop attendants to give them these products. And
Exactly.
yes, yes, but so perhaps the blame could be on the women. that they've been subconsciously influenced to think, you see, this is personal, it's something that shouldn't be told or even known to a neighbor. And if at all, in the unfortunate event, it's unplanned and unexpected, or it's so embarrassing that this had to happen to me. How can we, dismantle the narrative?
First and foremost, normalizing conversations on menstruation. That's the first thing. Because you see, once you normalize conversations on menstruation, first and foremost, one of the causes of period poverty is lack of information on menstrual health and hygiene. So when you normalize these conversations, these girls and women actually going to be able to identify when they have a problem. We have what we call menstrual conditions. Most people don't even know. The fact that society has normalized one of the PMS symptoms that you get during periods is cramps. That is pain. So when cramps are severe, it's not normal. It indicates that you have a menstrual condition. But society has normalized it so much, even when you go to the hospital and tell a doctor, I have cramps, they're going to give you painkillers. The person could have endometriosis, they could have PCOS, they could have a menstrual condition. You see, there is a lot that is tied in. The first and most important thing that we need to do, that actually Period Talk Uganda is doing, is normalizing conversations on menstruation. We have this annual campaign that we call Speak Up, Stop Period Stigma, that happens every year on Menstrual Hygiene Day, where we actually get people to talk about menstruation freely by sending us their perspectives that we share on our website. Yeah, so normalizing conversations on menstruation is very key. There is no way around it.
Okay.
We have to openly speak about it.
Rosette, some of these NGOs that you guys work with, you come up with very short-term remedies. Because a community that we are going to in Senyi, these people are going to live for times, and they are going to be faced with these situations. Are these solutions that we are providing sustainable? Yes.
You know, when we get an issue, it is usually better we put it down. My sister here, Gloria, talking about stigma. The first thing is that who attach stigma? Because we are looking at stigma as people's having a belief that is negative or it is an affair to them, to any subject. Like she's talking about the menstrual issues. People attach it. Who attach stigma? Is it the person who is experiencing the period? Is it the person who is seeing that one? Or is it everyone? And what can we do about it? And stigma usually is in a number of things. The menstrual issues, in our HIV setting, me who work in HIV clinic, when I'm working, when they say, Chris is HIV focal person, the first thing is that Chris is HIV positive. And therefore is also a criminal. And what is in the people's mind? That would be the other thing. The caller down there will tell us what they think when they talk about this. Is it bad? Is it good? Is it for the concern of everyone? How can we all embrace all the things that have been happening in our societies? Because what is happening is that we have grown in societies where things have been perceived differently. Where if it's a young girl talks about the menstrual issues with the mother, not his father, the father doesn't have to hear about. Even the wife doesn't tell the husband that I'm going for
my period.
Other people have created what?
Mm.
When they bring young girls to the clinic and I'm treating them, the mother will ask, hey, abajungu bijiri. So such things are usually
supposed
touching.
to code,
They are coding the language.
They are coding the language.
Okay, we can continue.
All right. Let Nanduto, perhaps you could start with the element of stigma.
Further, I want to talk about what he just said. People trying to, when they know he's the focal person, and then they be like, Dr. Nahar, I think being the focal person, he knows what they go through. So I think he's
Really,
positive.
yes.
Exactly. Now, not far from that, we've had, and it is true by that, it is the reality. We've had in society, it is something to do with body shaming and as well stigma to those that are HIV positive, whereby someone will see someone slender like me,
Like
and
me.
then yes, and then people start saying, I think she's sick. by just looking at the body size, I think she's sick. But lately, people don't actually know that. You may find someone who is very healthy, looking so good, but they're HIV positive. But why is it that? Because they take care of themselves. They are taking the treatment as prescribed. So let's talk about that. Let's stop the stigma of phrasing people because of their looks, because of, how they live their lives. You get, when someone is walking, they walk slowly. How do they say? Because people always say, Batoro are very Baringanga edgy.
They are very calm, and for them
Exactly,
they
they
are
walk
more. Yeah,
slowly.
yeah.
Yes, and someone is start saying, the way that one is walking as if they are sick. Because you're not lively. People are
But
framing
at
you
least
for
for HIV, it's different. It could be because the victims are not perpetuating the stigma.
Yes.
But for period, it's actually initiated by the people that are actually dealing with the period. Because if at
Now,
all you're going to hide,
before I go any further, I grew up in a home where it was normal to be in periods. Me the day I am yes, me the day I am having my periods, because I also had at the start I always had what you call the
The cramps.
menstrual, yes,
The pain,
the
yes.
cramps, the menstrual pain. But when I am having those menstrual pains, my parents are not going to work that day. So they are going to be home with me to monitor me. You get? Till they got to a point where they felt like, okay, I think it's...
she has grown
she
enough
has-
to
yes,
deal with it.
Yes, and it stopped her eventually. You get? So it's a normal thing. When you grow up in such a society, that's where you find out that, it is actually normal. But at one point, I found we met with my siblings. We met a young girl who had stains, menstrual stains, on her skirt, and then she bypassed some men who were in a drinking place, and they actually made fun of her. It was very, I find it very, I don't know, ill-mannered.
Because they don't know better. For us men, let me be honest, that's the truth. We don't know better. We think
They're drunk men because they were drunk.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Because I feel like if someone like you, I'm very sure you can't laugh at someone who
yes,
you'd actually
certainly.
get to
I have a
them and
daughter.
ask
I
them.
have a daughter, so I
Exactly.
could relate. Yes.
Thank you. So you'd get to them and ask them what is happening, or even give them your jacket or sweater that you have. So that is where we should get. You get, not making conversations around.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me have Mary. You see, now society has broken down. We know that those that would fill the gap were the mothers, the aunties, but now they're single fathers raising teenage daughters, and they're faced with these problems. And the girl may not freely talk to the dad in as far as her menstrual health is concerned. Do you think now those other people within this girl's life are doing enough to help her deal with the situation?
Well, in such cases, first and foremost, when you're fighting period stigma, inclusion of men and boys is very pertinent. It's very necessary. So I believe if that's done, first of all, it's going to bridge the gap between, let's say, single fathers raising their daughters, because we are going to be able to impart them with the necessary knowledge to be able to do the necessary things that are required, conversations with the girls, among other things. So not necessarily. I think it's a case by case basis. Yes, because it's generally, I feel like the actual issue that we need to deal with, if we are going to deal with period stigma in its entirety, is the cultural beliefs, the very root cause of the stigma itself, the cultural beliefs in themselves. Because girls actually, like the doctor said, girls actually fear to talk to their fathers about these things.
Schools
Why?
are doing a good job, though. Maybe now we think if society has laid down these young girls and females, schools will do better. Because I studied with young girls in school, and the school would provide some of these products. But you would see that the time when they provide the products is literally the girls get sneaky. They are only talking to girls alone, and there's a senior woman that they use languages to figure out what they're dealing with. The girls, if at all they are faced with the situation, it's not managed publicly. If I collapse now, you would think it's a matter of emergency, and the doctor would have to apply skills, and you would all come out to help. If it happened to a young girl in class, certainly girls are going to cover up with her, and the boys will be yakking and being afraid of what's happening. Someone may be having a very emergency situation. Now, the boys being involved in this conversation, how far will it go in solving the problem?
First and foremost, I believe menstrual health and hygiene management should be part of the curriculum. That's the first thing. When we have menstrual health and hygiene management as part of the curriculum, that means the boys are also taught about menstrual health and hygiene management. So such situations will not be recurrent.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Nahabwe, you're giving out condoms free of charge. In bars, we see condom, dispensers. In hospitals, we see condom dispensers. In schools, literally. In communities, in administrative units at the local government, we see condom dispensers. There are no pads dispensers. You, the medics and the medical practitioners, do you think that what should be free? Is it the condom that should be free? That which sexual I mean, sex is not compulsory. It's something that you can do away with. This is a biological phenomenon that you cannot, defer. You, the medical practitioners, are you being realistic by providing free condoms and denying free sanitary, menstrual products?
Yeah, when we get to such discussions, now we are going to programming. Who is doing what and when? What takes priority? That is the other thing. And what is the driver in this? So when you would ask, when did we begin to give condoms? You would look at when did HIV transmission get higher? When the prevalence was almost 30 in the early 90s. The condom programming, the prevention messages were high. And it got a lot of funding. And who funded? Ugandan government gets a donor. The donor brings in things. And so the business
Global Fund
started,
and
the
all.
Global Fund and the USAID and all that. And so the funding was that far. And there is even a body, Uganda AIDS Commission, in Uganda responsible for HIV fight. There is AIDS control program in the Ministry of Health, staffed with technical teams in the HIV, the care, the prevention, and the social part. When we get back to reproductive health, where is reproductive health and who is responsible? It's in the recent that adolescent and reproductive health have been adopted, and there is a commissioner currently for reproductive health. But again, more attention in reproductive health is in mothers dying while giving
But
birth. It's not yet so high in sanitary products. Maybe what was there was what was more practiced in eastern Uganda with the female genital mutilation. But for anything to take precedence, for priority to come, people need to get statistics. You need to influence agenda in parliament because all these are issues of government decision. What will drive government to attach a budget to something? So I think through education, through gender, in the side of government, there is need for more advocacy to see these as you say, that if there could be dispensers in bars for people who are going to do things which no government, no culture says it is very good. Sex has never been said that it is a good for everyone to do it, but people do it.
no, but nowadays
Right.
the medical practitioners are actually advising us to have it a bit more as a deterrence for certain
I will
conditions
say
like
no.
prostate cancer
I
and
will
all
say
that.
no. I will say no. I will say no.
Let's
There-
stop for a break. When we come back, we shall have more of the conversation. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
Once again, my name is Wesige Banyaji. The conversation this morning is menstrual health and HIV. We're celebrating World AIDS Day tomorrow. And with me in studio is Dr. Christopher Nahawe, the HIV focal person in Mbara District, Miss Rosette Nandutu, who is the team leader at VIDEA Uganda, and Gloria Basha, who is the founder at Pure Talk Uganda. And Cruise FM has partnered with Pure Talk Uganda and VIDEA to reach out to a community in Tisenyi. Now, tomorrow we shall be handing over a couple of items that we've gotten to from our good people to help bridge the gap and the problem that is in Tisenyi as far as obtaining materials that are used in menstrual health there. And this is collaborated by a team of fanatics from an English football team. Belga is a part of that. And we're all heading there as we reach out to impact on society. So come tomorrow and be a part of that initiative, and want to appreciate every person that has been a part of it. And let me get to Mary. Mary wanted to talk about something with transactional sex and all that. Go ahead.
From the discussions we've had so far, the transactional sex has been centered around sex work in itself. I'm glad we're actually having this discussion in line with the 16 days of activism, a call against gender-based violence. Now, one of the forms of violence against women is sexual in nature. So there's something that we are not actually taking into note. When a girl is less than 18 years, a girl that we consider a minor, first and foremost, a minor cannot consent. So these girls are not having sex in exchange for pads. These girls are being sexually assaulted. They are being sexually violated. They are not sleeping with men in exchange for pads. You see, the use of language is one of the things that actually is very pertinent if we are going to solve any of these problems, to do with period stigma, period poverty, and everything. So I want us to be clear on that aspect in itself. It's sexual assault, it's sexual violence. They're not sleeping in exchange for pads. They are minors, a minor cannot consent. So they're
that's very
being
true.
sexually assaulted. That is it.
Okay. But if at all they cannot be able to obtain these at their own with ease, then they indulge to be able to get the resources to finance some of these things, not mainly, but among others.
Yes.
But before we went for a break, I wanted to ask you something to do with institutionalization or provision of some of these products. I asked the doctor, and he really went far in explaining why government is centered on providing these products for prevention of HIV, but it's not the same for menstrual health. What do you think is the everlasting solution to the problem? Because now we know if government is spending money to provide for condoms, why doesn't the same government put money in providing menstrual products for the girls?
One of the sustainable solutions, I believe, would be the taxes. Let make menstrual products free from taxes. When you make menstrual products free, when you do not tax menstrual products, the price goes down significantly. So majority of the people are able to afford them. So that's the first thing, the policies, the tax policies. And also another thing, the reason why provision of free menstrual products is not happening is the policies, the gender policies that we have currently. Most of the people that make these policies, the lawmakers, they are not what can I say, for lack of a better word, they are not as aware about menstrual health and hygiene in itself. So they pass these policies without putting into consideration the actual challenge on ground. You find a man actually making a policy in regards to menstrual health and hygiene, and yet the very person that's making the policy, the lawmaker, doesn't understand the topic of conversation. So when you try to tell them pads are not a luxury product, they don't get it. So that's why it's hard to do this, to provide free products and also to remove the taxes on some of these products. This is a topic that most people do not understand, even policymakers themselves. Exactly. And yet it's actually surprising, it's shocking.
Okay.
The best thing to do is to get the right people to make the right
To make
policies.
the policies. Yes, it's a policy
Don't
issue.
get an accountant to make policies for menstrual
Menstrual health and hygiene,
health
or
and
female.
hygiene.
But Rosette, we have female members of parliament in
Yes.
huge numbers. Affirmative action has been there. But we don't see these
Thank you.
women advocating for this. Yes.
Let me tell you something about that. Now, when you look at the marriage bill, Have you seen how Sarah Pendi has put up bills, has put up her clauses under that bill? You've seen it.
Yes.
Because she's a woman, she understands what is under that. And when you look at the member of parliament, woman member of parliament for Soroti with the sexual
Yes,
offences bill.
Adeke, yes.
Yes, when you look at that 10-year jail sentence for, rape and all that, because she's a woman, she knows what it is. So let's get the right people to make the right policies. Yes.
Okay. On solution on the level of government has categorically stated the responsibility falls on parents. Just like we know that the solution is a personal choice on lifestyle. Doctor, who should take responsibility?
All that we do in government, as a government employee, it depends on the prioritization of that problem. That's number one. Number two, it is on who is driving what. How would you package what you want to drive home? So I would say that looking at sanitary pads onto the government agenda, actually even the Minister of Education is a woman, and she was a girl who grew up in those days when they were not as available as today. But I have a feeling that if the advocates package the message very well, and there is a proposal that in school there could be dispensers for these items, I think it can be taken into account, because nobody will do anything until when it is put on agenda and advocated for actively. It won't. This is why you are seeing some regions acquiring some items while others are sleeping, depending on who is advocating. It can be their legislator, their MPs. It can be the technical people that are in the ministries or in the IP areas that are packaging information rightly and they are delivering it to relevant offices. Yes, that is what I would say.
Okay. We know there is at least a female MP in Kenya that stained her clothes, her white clothes, with color and went to parliament. And her male counterparts literally called the attention of the speaker to banish her out of parliament because of this conduct, because they thought it was taboo and unacceptable. And at least raised some concern, and the conversation started in the country and for provision of these materials. Do you think we need such a very bold move by a member of parliament or a leader to call the attention of government on some of these aspects?
At this point, we need each and every move. If all of us are going to stand up, go on the streets, go in our respective offices and do the same, I personally would be more than glad to join the movement, because the members of parliament are lobbying for the changes. That some of them anyway are lobbying for those changes. Recently in Kayunga, actually at one of the schools, they provided a dispenser in the toilets for menstrual products. So at least there's some strides that are being made. So if all of us have to do that, if that is what it takes, if we have to do Khalid Muhammad, a million people march, just like Khalid Muhammad back in the day, let's do that. At this point, we need to do each and everything, because clearly the message is either being misconstrued, it's not being heard, or we are not being listened to. Let's do everything that we have to do. Do we have to stain in order for us to be listened to? Women out there, let's do that.
Okay. Let's take the conversation to the listeners. Call in right now on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. We are talking about HIV and menstrual health. What do you think is the solution to this problem? And how can we deal with it? On Cruise TV, we have feedback that is coming. Wajida David is saying it is about fighting stigma and discrimination in the community, sensitizing the young people to go for HIV tests so that as soon as they are identified positive, they put on treatment. On Cruise FM, you can be able to listen in and contribute on our X handle. Go right there and talk to us about what you think should be done in provision of menstrual products and HIV. Then Atwine Deras, we're saying approximately 28% of the girls in Uganda do not use any form of material products. menstrual products due to the affordability and availability. This greatly highlights one of the forms period poverty can lead to increased HIV cases. I hope the team will come in support. And we're calling on all of you to really show up as Cruise FM partners with VIDEA and a period talk to reach out to the people of Senyi and provide care there. Chris Banks, you're listening and you're saying, surely AIDS and Imbara should be kept down by providing free and modern sexual protective equipment, particularly condoms. And you're listening again in Bushenyi. Sesanga Obedi, you're in Kakoba, and you're saying the nation should understand that HIV is not compulsory. And let's get to the callers on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big city is on.
Hello, Mr. Council Brother Westgate.
Yes, Mohedes, how are you doing this morning?
I'm all right, but I'm not feeling okay.
Yes, go to the matter. We're talking about period poverty. The sisters that you have where you stay, do they have access to the materials that they need for their menstruation?
First and foremost, Westgate, I would like to thank the panels that you have brought here in the studios of Cruise FM. Secondly, you see, these young youth are no longer fear HIV. They fear pregnancy than HIV. So you're speaking about only in Mbara, but in other places, we need data to cover this AIDS and other diseases. Because you see, Mr. Westgate, these young youths have been involved in sexual things when they are still young. They need to be engaging in those things when they are mature and when they have got their families. That's why you see HIV is increasing each and every day.
Thank you, Muheres. Let's pick more of the calls. Good morning.
Yes, Boss Jawanyaji.
Yes, good morning.
A very, very good morning.
What's your name and where you are?
Owen Freeman Majega Manamasaka from Sochimavera Kashari. To the topic, for what I'm seeing, everyone should be responsible.
Okay. I think let's get a call from a girl or a female, a young adult there who is dealing with the situation to help us understand the magnitude of the problem. Good morning.
Morning, Cruise FM.
Yes, what's your name?
You are talking to Emma from Brisbane.
Yes, Emma.
Thank you for the show and the panel.
Yes.
But the problem we have now is that everyone is lacking responsibility of his or her life. You find that it's not even about money, but it's about how people are being nurtured. You find the girl is not sharing pregnancy, not sharing what. It's not even lack of money, but the way we are nurturing the current generation is also bringing that. It's also causing causing high rise of HIV. Because we find they are now even giving out free condoms. What this should not be the case. They should be even giving out free pads to students and nurturing them on how they should be in control of when they are in menstruation periods.
Okay, thank you. You appreciate it. Let me end with this for now. Just missed it. We're stopping for a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about more of the initiative and the outreach tomorrow in Chisenyi, where Cruise FM is reaching out to the people of Chisenyi, especially the young girls and the vulnerable communities, with sanitary towels, menstrual products, and all other these different items. VIDEA and our period talk is on it. Let's meet there on Sunday. But for now, the conversation is still going on. And let's stop for a break. When we come back, I'll give you November Love goodies in the Double Love. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
We are back.
Move to the rhythms of the radio station that reflects your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Western Uganda's biggest radio, 91.2 Cruise FM. great music, great friends.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy.
Stations listen to. Yeah. 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends.
Great friends.
Right, on the final lap of the show, 15 minutes to the top of the hour on Western Uganda biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM, great music, great friends. November Love, 13 years of niceness. Now I want to give away a pizza and a jersey from Barker Fashions and a pizza from Cafe Havana. It's a double love arrangement here on Cruise FM. Now, Barker Fashions, for all men's wear, ranging from jerseys, t-shirts, trousers, jeans, gentle wear, jackets, and much more in retail and in wholesale. You can find Barker Fashions at Easyview Complex, first floor, room 2, opposite the Tex Pack, or call 0786121231, and you go out looking really, really smart. Now, Cafe Havana, whether it's a wedding, birthday, baby shower, romantic getaway, Cafe Havana offers the perfect setting with stunning views across Mbara, including accommodations at Power World Ruharu. So you get to enjoy, if you buy one, take two pizza Tuesdays up to midweek treat. To be able to enjoy that, contact 0785651066 or WhatsApp 0704494447 to create unforgettable memories at Cafe Havana, where every moment is cherished. Double Love right now, call in and win yourself a Double Love, courtesy of Western Uganda's biggest radio. Cruise FM.
Hello, Mr. Banyet.
November Love.
November Love.
Yes, have you won yourself anything?
Nothing.
What's your name?
Musime Moses.
Tusime Moses.
Musime.
Musime Moses. Where are you at?
Shempari Sinje.
Okay. How many years is Cruise FM celebrating?
13 years.
Okay. Tell me Cruise FM's social media handles.
We have Facebook, 91.2 Cruise FM. Then X,
okay.
www.cruisefm.com.
Okay. Thank you so much. Do you know a person called MC Kacheche?
Yes.
Which show does he do?
Saturday Night Live.
All right. Who is your double love winner? Who are you giving the second goodie to?
My brother A.G. Da Costa.
Tell us his real names.
Bamwita Amumpire Gilbert.
Amumpire Gilbert. Why are you giving them? Why them?
Norogo mushiza na nyamba munonga kwa mukusoma kwanje na mpamuka sente ndiyamu kale mbe na nyamba.
Kale namba yawe.
0 atano na mushanju. Atano nemwe.
0 mushanju 0 atano na mushanju.
Atano nemwe. Ana nemwe. Emwe.
Okay, congratulations there.
Thank you, Mr. Wanyaji.
Okay. We are back, Rosette. We're heading to Chisenyi tomorrow. Call on the people to come and what they should expect, especially the people in Chisenyi.
Okay. The people in Chisenyi should expect the best from us because you're not giving out too much, but we are here with them because we understand what they go through. And being a girl, I know what it means. So we are going to be there. I'm calling upon everyone, the partners, the local authorities to come and be with us in this. And to the girls in Chisenyi, it's not over. Yeah.
Okay, they should stay hopeful.
Yes.
Dr. Mo on HIV, which message is it that you're telling the Ugandan people, especially the people in Imbarara, with the dealing with HIV?
Two messages. Number one is to live a careful life. Let us look at our neighbors as being positive until proved otherwise.
So we should stigmatize them already.
Yes. You look at your friend, know that their status is different from yours. That is one. Number two, every time you engage in sex with someone, know that your status has changed. That would be the last statement. But when my sister was talking about 16 days of activism, I have some areas where I have a lot of domestic violence. And this is in Rubaya sub-county in Imbarara district. We shall have a dialogue meeting with them. So when I call on their leaders, I would wish that they would come in numbers, according to how they will be invited.
Doctor, there's been a lot of evolution on treatment. At least before, the patients would swallow so many tablets. The numbers has been going down. We are now even talking about a vaccine in the pipeline. We now know that there are trials on the injectable where a person can be injected once in 3 months. Tell us about that. How far has it gone?
Okay. You know, a number of times when I'm to talk about a topic, I need to give a background. Because when you simply give an answer to someone, it is better if he has been in a medical field. But for people who have not even if they are medical practitioners, but they are not in HIV programming, it comes as a snapshot and it gives them a number of questions. So regarding, maybe you're talking about preventive drugs we are using this time. Yeah, we know that we have had a number of medicines we are using to prevent HIV transmission. And these are provided for in two methods. The one of the women or men at risk of acquiring HIV because of what they do before they acquire what we call PrEP. And the other one is when they have been exposed. Someone has had a sexual exposure who has had a contact with blood and they think their partners or they have tested their partners or the other people and are positive. We give them what we call PEP. PEP post-exposure. You have been exposed to HIV virus, and you think you are at a higher risk of acquiring it, we would give you the drugs. And these are the drugs that we give people who are already on ART. That is PEP. Then I think what you're asking me now is PrEP. PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. You are not HIV positive yet, but what you do daily puts you at a risk. And here we have a number of categories. We have sex workers, whether men or women, because we know that men now are doing a lot of stuff. 2, we have discordant people. One of the partners is positive, another one is negative. And previously, they have been swallowing drugs orally. Today, the intervention is in place. We have a vaginal ring for women, which they put down in the vagina, and it stops transmission of HIV. And the other is the injection. The injection, what we call cabotegravir. We are giving it for every 2 months. While it is still on trial, but those that have got it has shown a lot of good results. So it is there. So we have options now. You can swallow the drug, you can use a vaginal ring, you can use an injection. And all of that control or reduce the risk of acquiring HIV.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Yes, Basha, Cruise FM has partnered with Period Talk to reach out to the people of Chisenyi and generally in Mbarara City. What does this mean for you, who is ever in the conversation of menstrual health of girls and young females? What does this mean for you? What should people expect tomorrow? And what should the people of Chisenyi expect too?
First and foremost, this is a big deal for us. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Cruz. This is a very big deal for us. You see, the more you partner with different stakeholders, the more people you actually reach, because each stakeholder has a part that they play and a contribution that they bring to the table. So by simply having Cruise FM and VIDEA on board, we are going to be able to reach more people than we would have single-handedly. So that's a big deal in itself. So for the people in Chisenyi, as Period Talk Uganda, we're going to bring a very sustainable solution to period poverty, which is reusable pads that these women and girls can actually use for a period of 2 years. So it's sustainable. So we're going to bring reusable products. We're also going to bring condoms as well. We're going to give out free condoms as well in light of World AIDS Day for prevention of HIV, because slum areas actually have a high rate of HIV prevalence. So yes, so there's also that. There's going to be a lot that's going to happen for everyone out there in Chisenyi. Please come. These products are free of charge. Kindly come. Please show up in large numbers. We're going to be able to provide.
Okay.
Yes.
I want you to send a message to government, the young girl out there, and society about period health.
Yes. Most importantly, I would like to implore the NRM government to fulfill its pledge of providing free menstrual products to women and to girls in schools. Yes, that's the first thing. If the NRM government can actually do that, that's a very big stride in fighting period poverty. If they can provide free menstrual products in schools, that's a huge stride in the fight against period poverty and stigma. I implore the lawmakers, the members of parliament, the female members of parliament. Girls are out here using soil. Girls are out here going around without menstrual products. Girls are out here using cow dung. Girls are out here using all the unhygienic solutions just to go through a period. No one deserves to go through something like that. It's terrible. The situation is dire straits, to say the least. I call upon all the lawmakers, please speak on behalf of the girls and the women in this country. This cannot be the future of the girls in this country.
Okay. Yes, Rosette, on
Before we
tomorrow.
go, Before we go, I want to just say something small. I think we should, just like she said, the lawmakers, policymakers, and all authorities to come and really, help the girls address this challenge. I should say, we should stop this thing of giving handouts every time. When you, just like we are looking at whatever is happening in Bulambuli and all that, it's year to year that we are going to come, we give them 5 million, and we wait for another year, the landslides happen, and so we should do something.
All right, thank you so much, Rosette Nandutu. Thank you, Basha Mary. Thank you, Dr. Nahawi. My name is Wesi Gibanyaji. Let's meet next Saturday on the Big Seed. Good morning.
Urban Weekends, 91.2 Cruise FM.
Yeah, wabula, but the day I